Hello family, welcome to today's broadcast. I will be talking to us today on the 10 outstanding laws of success. The 10 outstanding laws of success. To be successful in life is simply to live in fulfillment, especially or most importantly in the realization of your dreams, your goals, your aspiration, and the reason for your existence. There are 3 parameters on which success is judged. Number 1 is your faith. That talks about your work with your Creator and also being in the center of the reason of your existence, the reason why you were given birth. Number 2 talks about your family, because at the end of everything, what matters is family. Number 3 talks about your finances. Your finances is also important because that's the engine that drives every other aspect of your life. So if you have a problem with any of the 2, you have an issue with the 3rd. So if your faith is not intact and your family is not intact, it shows there is a problem with the finance. If your finance is intact and your faith is intact, it will influence on what? Your family life. If your family life is intact and your finance is intact, it will influence on what? Your faith. So what are the 10 outstanding laws of success? Number 1 is the law of desire. The law of desire pushes us into a search and a pursuit. Desire is the fuel needed for success. Just like when you have a car and without things being equal, without the fuel in the car, even when the engine is sound, then that car will still not move. Even when the driver is so proficient and very, very good and with excellent driving skills, that vehicle will still not move without the fuel. So desire is that fuel that drives success. I remember the story of a great man being approached by a young prodigy who said to him, "Please, I really want to be successful and I want you to teach me how to be successful." The man asked him, "Are you really sure you want to be successful?" The young man replied, "Yes, I want to." So the man said, "Meet me tomorrow at the seaside." So while they met the following day at the seaside, the man held the hands of his prodigy, the young man, and said, "Keep following me." And they keep taking 1 inch into the water till a point they got almost to the depth of the sea. And this man pushed the prodigy inside the water and kept him for like a minute. And after a minute, he brought him out. You know what that guy will be gasping for? Breath, air. Because you don't have oxygen in that situation, or a low quantity of it rather. So while he did that, he asked him again, "Do you really say you want to be successful?" The young man still replied, "Yes." So he kept him in the water, pushed his head into the water again, and kept him a bit longer this time. And after some while the guy was pushing him, trying to, fight his way through for survival, he brought him out of the water, and the young man started crying. He said, "You want to kill me? All I asked for is to be successful." And the man replied, "I have given you the key you need." And what's that key? He asked him a question. He said, "Do you know what you were looking for while you were down in the water?" And the young man replied, "All I was fighting for was breath to be alive. I was fighting for oxygen down there in the water." And the man said, "The way you could fight, because you know you will not exist without oxygen, if you have a strong desire for success that way, then you will be successful." The law of desire states that a small heat cannot make much fire. The much the strength of the heat, the much the fire, or a small fire rather, cannot make much heat. The more the fire, the more the heat it produces. So that desire is your fire. So if you want to be successful, how strong is your desire? The desire will discipline your purpose, discipline your energy. The desire will fuel in you the zeal to engage in a search for answers, in a pursuit for survival. Your desire must be intact. You must decide very early what kind of life you want for yourself. Because when you have that desire so strong in the inside of you, it will push you to be willing to make any sacrifice that is actually good, a positive sacrifice needed to produce that level of success you so desire in life. The second law of success is the law of becoming. The law of becoming states that by your actions and your inactions, your decisions and your indecisions daily, you are becoming into something. The law of becoming states that the product of a man's life is the sum total of his daily routines. By the things you are doing today, you are becoming into something. When you were given birth and how you look like today are two different persons in terms of stature, in terms of even the change in your physique, your appearance. Why? That's the law of becoming. And what brought you to that point? One, time. Two, your actions, your inactions, and the kind of things you have engaged yourself with over time. There is what we call the life cycle of a man. The life cycle simply says through the lives of a man from when he was born to when he reached the peak of his success, there are three processes: the prophecy, the process, and the product. The prophecy is when you are giving birth to, when God inserts in you the reason for which you were given life and you were given breath. Then the product is when you have gotten to the height of fulfillment and success. Now, in between the prophecy and the product, there is what? The process. Simply means it doesn't happen what? Overnight, but it happens over time. So the law of becoming simply tells us that success, or we get into the citadel of our success, happens what? Over time, and not overnight. It requires a process. And if we understand the law of becoming, it helps us to endure the pain so that we can enjoy the gain. This is the simple reason why many people are not willing to pay the price for success. Many people are not willing to pay the sacrifices. They just want an overnight success. They just think when you wake up today and say, I want to be successful by tomorrow morning, you'll be successful, without understanding that it is like a journey from one point to a destination. It requires a process. So by your actions, by what you are doing today, you are becoming. What you will become in the future will be the product or the sum total of your actions, your inactions, your decisions, your indecisions, and everything as regards your life. So the law of becoming helps us to be careful the way we live our life right now, because sometimes life could be as a personality watching you from behind the scene, watching your input into life right now to give you a reward for what you did with your time today. That's how life works. So the law of becoming helps us to see life in that way. There is a time where you need to plant, and there is a time where you need to what? Reap. That's what the law of becoming says. The law of becoming helps you to endure the pains of today, endure the sacrifice of today, knowing fully well that they are taking you to an established destination of life and success. So if I start a business today, I know once I keep putting the required ingredients, it's like a man going to plant a seed in the field. The law of becoming says that as you keep putting all things being equal, the right equipment, you keep weeding your soil, over time, there is a process taking place in that plant. It doesn't bring fruit immediately, but at a requisite time, at an established moment and season, then you begin to observe that the fruit begin to come out of that plant. That little plant has suddenly become a tree, but it didn't happen overnight. It took place what? Over time. So it means that there are things in this season of life I won't be able to afford. But because of the law of becoming, by the things I do today, over time, I will be able to afford them. I will get to a point in my life where the things I can't afford today, I will be able to afford them. The places I can't enter today, I will be able to enter them. The law of becoming says life is a process, and be willing to go through the process of life. You are not wasting your time. Your measurement is just wrong. Do we understand that? So what do we do? Even when we understand that life is a process by the mystery of the law of becoming, what do we do in those processes? Number one, we invest in ourselves. We increase our value. We increase our self-worth. So when we get to what we have become, it will be based on what value we have inserted in our inside. We increase our earning ability on a daily basis. This life and men will reward you for the value you bring to the table. Even though some of us have made up our mind rather to bring the table itself. not just bringing something to the table. So it's all about the strength of your desire. So that's what the law of becoming says, that what you are today is not what you will be tomorrow. The law of becoming agrees that change is progressive. Whether you like it or not, for each day, each year, you are changing. There is a change process taking place in the inside of you. And that's why you must be careful of your choices, of your decisions, of your indecisions, of your actions, because they are making you into something. So it's not just a mirage. Maybe I'll just sit and sleep and just decide and think about success today. Then maybe in the future, in 15 years, I'll just find out I'm suddenly successful. No, success is intentional. And that's where the law of becoming comes in place. That if I keep putting the right step, I keep taking the right process, I keep taking the right decisions, that's height of success I want to reach. Over time, I'll find out that I've gotten to that height of success. Number 3, it is the law of timing and chance. The law of timing and chance helps us to understand the place of patience in life, because this is why many people have gotten themselves entangled into wrong things. Some are falling victim of quick rich schemes just because they want to be successful on time. They don't understand that there is timing for everything. For instance, when a woman gives birth to a young child, at that point in time, that child cannot run. That child cannot walk. That child cannot sit. But you don't throw the child away. All things being equal, the child is given the right nutrients, the right resources he or she needs. Over time, at a certain age, you find out that the child just brings out that ability in the inside to walk, brings out that ability in the inside to sit, brings out that ability in the inside to run. That's where the law of timing comes. There is time for everything. You cannot get a woman to give birth in 1 month by making 9 women pregnant. The law of timing says, all things being equal, the egg is intact, the seed of the man is viable. All things being equal, once she takes in, it will take her a process of 9 months. So you can't cheat that system or cheat that law. That's what a law is. Means what you must do to get a particular kind of result. So that's the law of timing and chance. The law of timing and chance. So it helps you. You are running a business, you are patient. Some people start a business today and they just want it to become a conglomerate. They start a business today, they want it to be a global thing. No! Start small, think big. Start local, think global. That thing you despise, that small business, every great company, great businesses you see today existing started from that small state. And why that law of timing is put in place and in life and in nature is to help people to develop stamina in those periods of smallness. Help them to develop the requisite integrity, the required capacity to manage bigness and greatness when it comes. So understand that you are not slow. It's your measurement that is wrong. And what is your measurement? Other people, other people's achievement, what they've become. See, a man building a skyscraper and a man building a bungalow are not expected to spend the same time in such a building. While the man building the bungalow is done with maybe the foundation. That's when the man trying to build a skyscraper is still excavating his ground. By the time maybe the man building the bungalow has gotten to the roof level, that's when the man building the skyscraper is just bringing forth his foundation. By the time the man building the bungalow is doing a housewarming, people celebrating, that's when maybe the man building the skyscraper is just raising his structure up a little. And do you know that the man building the bungalow can begin to look at the man building the skyscraper and be wondering, how comes this one is wasting his time like this? Is it that he doesn't know the secret to building? Or he doesn't have the required resources to build this structure? What exactly is the problem? But by the time the man is done, launching his own house, and the man building his skyscraper is coming, suddenly the man building the bungalow find out that the building is going above his roof. Something he was looking directly, at a point he begins to lift up his eyes to see the skyscraper going up. And then he now understands that the man was never wasting his time. Don't try to prove yourself to people. Don't try to defend anything. Sometimes people will not even understand the actions you are taking and the decisions you are taking, the choices. Let your result prove to them that those decisions you took were right. So concentrate on producing results. Don't be in a haste. A man that competes in life has lost a sense of mission. He really doesn't know what he's looking for and is not fit to be existing. Because life is not a place of competition. Every man has his decision and what he wants for his own life. So the law of patience says you are not slow. You are just in a process that will take you to your desired destination. Many people have abused this law and we are just going quickly. And somebody came in their life making them look like they are slow, they are not achieving anything, they are non-entities, they are useless. And that's how if they have maintained that business they started, maybe today it will have been a very mighty company in the world. But because of what they heard, they became discouraged. They just saw their friend out of school. He has made it so big, made it so much. And here they are in a haste. And they just collapse the business and structures and the systems and the things they are putting in place just to go get involved in those things. And some of them are dead right now. Some of them have been arrested in prison and the rest of them. The law of patience says that you require patience in life. The law of timing rather than chance, that you require patience in life to achieve anything reasonable. Whatever you plant, you must be patient enough to allow it to absorb itself and develop itself into whatever you want it to be. Number 4 is the law of productivity. The law of productivity says that there is a difference between being busy and being productive. There is a difference between accomplishment and busyness. And one of the things that helps us to maximize the law of productivity is what we call the Pareto principle. Pareto was an Italian man, economist, that invented the principle called the 80-20 principle. The principle states that 80% of your result in life will come basically from 20% of the major things you do. 80% of your output in life will come basically from 20% of your inputs. 80% of your result will be a produce from basically 20% of a major kind of effort. So your job is to discern that 20% that gives you an 80%. That's what the law of productivity says. Because most of the times we find that that's why many people complain. I'm doing so much in life, I'm not seeing the result. No, doing so much is not what matters, but doing the needful. Because when the needful is required, doing your best is unacceptable. You can't tell somebody I'm doing my best. Your best might not be good enough. What you are expected to do to produce success is to do the needful and not just your best. So the law of productivity helps you to maximize your time and be productive with your time. So my own job is to check if this is what I want out of life and this is what I want to get out of life. What is the major 20% thing I need to do that gives me that exact kind of result? What is the 20% thing I must do? Not just I will just feel I'm doing everything, I'm here right now, I'm there right now, I'm here right now, I'm there right now, and then I feel I am busy but not getting the required result. No, check that major 20%. In a day, that's how you maximize your time. It's not everything you do in a day that is actually contributing majorly to your life. There are 20% of the major things you do today that contributes to 80% actually of your life. So my job is to check those 20% and direct my wisdom, my time, my energy, my resources majorly into that 20% because I know that's what is giving me my major amount of what? Results. That's the law of productivity. 5 is the law of relationship. The law of relationship simply states that your network in life is your net worth. The law of relationship states that your link in life is your lot. There comes to a point in a life where what you know does not really matter, but who you know. When what you know matches who you know, your result producing quotient increases. When what you know matches who you know, your result producing quotient increases. So the law of relationship simply states that relationship in life and business is also a capital. The way money is a capital to start up a business, in success, relationship is also a capital that can determine your success, whether you rise or fall, whether you are lifted or you are down. Sometimes the law of relationship states that life, how successful you will become is dependent on one, the amount of people that like you, and the amount of the quality kind of people, important people you have in your life. So you must do all you can to invest in quality relationship. Your network, net worth in life is your network. Do all you can to invest in quality relationships. Invest in quality relationships. And how do you do that? Number one is that you contribute in others. That's how you build influence. People will not just give you a space in life when they've not seen what you have contributed in their life. Be willing to invest in relationships. Don't be a parasite. Let every relationship you embark in be symbiotic. Yes, you might say, but that man is so great, he doesn't even need the money I will give him. You can buy him something little. You can check on him. You can send him a message. By doing so, you are building influence in his life. You are making him indebted to you. 2, not everything you do for people that you get money from. Sometimes you let that money go and keep them indebted to you for life. That's the law of relationship. The law of relationship says if you are into anything, look for associations, people in related field just like you are. Look for them and join that association. By so doing, you grow your influence very quickly and very fast. Such that, for instance, if I'm into catering and I'm in a city, I will look for the Catering People's Association and I will join the association. It will help me to grow in my catering business faster, such that maybe there is a big catering company or firm there that might at a point have a contract that is bigger than them to manage. They will now say, okay, let's pick some few other people in our association to help us out. From there, you are also building credibility and building your network and your influence in life. That's the law of relationship. The law of relationship states that there is nobody that is perfect. So don't expect that you must meet the perfect people. Sometimes you expect that with humans, you must learn tolerance. You must learn to sometimes ignore certain caliber of type of people's weaknesses, knowing fully well their still role and relevance in your life. You can look at someone and maybe you just don't like the way the person maybe gets angry easily, but the person can give you every kind of network you need. That does not mean you, because of that anger alone, you throw that person out of your life. However, avoid toxic relationship. What are toxic relationships? Toxic relationships are relationships that just take away from you and contribute nothing into your life. Toxic relationships are relationships that diminish your person, make you don't feel like a human being. You have somebody, the way they talk to you, the kind of words they use on you, just make you look useless. Those are toxic relationships you should what? Avoid. Relationship that reduces you. You find that when you get involved with that person, you just keep going down. Say, listen, in life, understand this if you go far, that there is a difference between being patient and wasting your time. This is how certain people have been in relationship, the marital type of relationship, and they have somebody beating them, abusing them, demeaning their person, and they stay there for so long in that relationship for 12, 13 years, and the thing still scattered. And they say that's how God wants it. No, that's not how God wants it. That's how you wanted it because you were very foolish. You should have understood the difference between being patient and wasting your time. So there is a place where you are tolerant with people, but not when they are toxic. A toxicity is not something you manage. There are certain things in our body that we live with, like worms. Those are tolerated organisms. But a toxic, when somebody gives you a poison to drink, is not something you tolerate. It's a toxicity. You do away with it because they are like poison, destroying your system. So you must understand that when it comes to relationship. That's how I check. What's your contribution in my life? Why must I keep this relationship right now if it has no contribution in my life? Do we understand that? So as powerful as it is that we build relationship, because I told you your net worth is your network. You build influence. What is influence? Influence is your ability to move things and cause change without your physical presence. Influence is the ability to move things and cause a change anywhere around the world, in any sector, any field of endeavor, without your physical presence. It simply means I can by a phone call give someone a job. I can by a text message or a signature of mine give someone an access to a great man. That depicts that I am influential with that great man. Do you understand that? So you build relationship because there are things that people will do for you, not because of your qualification, but because of your relationship with them. They will be willing to go that extra mile. So one of the law of success is that you must build relationship. What your revelation will not give you, relationship will give you. What you know will not give you, a relationship can give to you. So do all you can. You can't just be quarreling with everybody in life and want to go far. Say, I don't just like the attitude. If everybody relates with you, who says everything about you is nice? Who says everything about you is also awesome and good? You are being tolerated. If everybody wants to give you their criteria of the kind of caliber of friends they want to keep and the kind of person, some of you will not even be qualified. You find out at the end of the day you have no friend. So know it fully well that you are not a perfect person, you are a tolerated person. An imperfect person that someone is just loving perfectly. And that's how you should see others when it comes to building relationship. I say number one, love people genuinely. Number two, be contributing in their life. Once in a while, check on them. Invest in them. Buy something for their kids. Buy something for them. Do things for them sometimes for free. And don't collect money. Give them discounts. You are building influence with them. Do we understand that? And you find that when you do this, you hold a special place in men's heart. People separate themselves into category in the hearts of men. I can have 50 people around my life, but they are in different placements in my heart. They are not on the same level. You just must learn this and not deceive yourself. And what we separate them into categories in my life is based on how I value them. And what brings value based on what your contribution into my life. Understand this. And that's how you build a relationship that can help you to be successful. Number 6 is the law of attraction. The law of attraction states that there is a magnetic field around the universe that attracts what you think and what you say. You know, for the religious folks, even when if you are a Christian, you find out that even that is stated in the Bible. Whatever you think, you have it. Whatever you say, you have it. The law of attraction states you will attract your kind of thoughts and your kind of words. So knowing fully well this law of attraction, and you attract your kind of person. So for instance, right now, you know, in life, we said, in physics, we said like charges don't attract while unlike charges attract. But in life, like charges is the opposite way. Like charges attract and unlike charges don't attract. For instance, right now, look at the way you are dressing like a lady. You are looking like Lucky Dube's younger sister. And you are now wondering the kind of guys that are coming around you, they like Lucky Dube's song. What were you expecting? You should see an angel? Because of the kind of personality you've put out there, you will attract your kind. Do we understand that? You dress so rough, you are now wondering why every rough guy in your area is the one approaching you for marriage. Why wouldn't they? Look at what you are wearing. Your clothes are torn and you say it's ripped. It's not a problem. But just look at yourself and ask yourself, what kind of person am I attracting? Is the kind of person I have put out there with. So the law of attraction says your thoughts, your words, and your personality set a message to the universe to attract its kind. So if I think failure, I will attract failure to my life. If I think defeat, I will attract defeat. If I think poverty, I will attract poverty and poor people. If I think like the world is, suddenly I will be in their circle. That's why we say in my school of leadership that in the business world, in the company, if you want to climb faster to the ladder of success, dress like the leaders. Because the rich doesn't pity you for your poverty. The great and the wealthy does not take sympathy for your poverty. They don't want anybody to pollute their world and atmosphere. So the fastest way to get into their clique is to dress and behave like them. Then they feel comfortable to bring you among them. You can't look different from them and want to be them. So the law of attraction says, control your thoughts. Don't think negative, don't talk negative, and don't put up a negative personality. You will attract those kind of people. Number 7 is the law of diminishing returns. The law of diminishing returns, we did this in our secondary schools in economics, saying that at a certain point in time, whether you buy a product or you run a business or something, there is the law of diminishing returns that steps in. Meaning the value of that thing over time diminishes. But in life, the law of diminishing return states that you will not have equivalent productive years all the time. That's why even in the civil service environment, we have retirement age. Why they say you should retire at that point in time, at 35 years of service or 60 years of age in our country, Nigeria, is because they believe at that point in time, you are no longer productive like you used to be. So the law of diminishing is something you must not abuse in life. Whether you like it or not, it exists and it's there. There are things I could do when I was in my 10s, when I was in my 20s. I can't do them now in my 30s. Not because I'm not willing to do them, but the privilege is not there for me again. The platform, the opportunity is not there for me again. Life has changed, trends differs. So what does this law help us to do in attaining success? The law of diminishing return in attaining success help us to know that we are supposed to maximize our productive years before diminishing steps in. We are supposed to maximize our productive years before diminishing steps in. Stop saying there is time, there is time, there is time. Do things when you need to do them. Every day you spend on earth brings you a day closer to your grave. So always take steps when you need to take them. Avoid procrastination. Things will not always be the same way they used to be 10 years ago. Today is every yesterday's tomorrow. So I will do. You get to a point in time, the law of diminishing stops in. Your productivity is not in its equivalent state anymore. So master this law. Maximize your productive years. Maximize your. There are age of your life where you can do certain things. You can put yourself under certain kind of stress and not be scared that you break down. But at 60 and at 70, all you receive then is medical advice. They say, please, the organs is no longer in the same state they used to be. In fact, even some of us at 40, 50, we start using glasses because the eye is not in the same state again. So maximize your productive years before diminishing steps in. Stop playing with time. You can't waste time. No matter when you're working with your friends, what are you doing? Say, I'm just whiling away time. You can't while it away. Go inside your room. You find out the clock is still moving. You're actually whiling away yourself and your life. You can't while time. That you sat down doing nothing does not mean the clock in your house will not work. It keeps moving. The words keep moving. When you are sleeping in a country, somebody is awake already. So maximize your productive years. When you still have all the acumen, the strength needed, the vigor needed, the fervor needed, and everything to achieve so much in life. Take advantage of those periods before diminishing steps in, and such that all you begin to live is in wishes or regret. And wishes will not produce anything. Say if wishes were horses, men will ride on them. But I beg to disagree, because horses in our days are very expensive. So if wishes were horses, men will have nothing to ride, because they won't even be able to afford it. Number 8 is the law of preparation. The law of preparation says that you should build capacity to take advantage of opportunities. You should build capacity to take advantage of opportunities and position yourself for greatness. Many of you right now, When they ask you, what's your dream after school? You say, I want to travel abroad. You don't have an international passport. You want to go with your passport you snap in secondary school and put in your WAEC result. So it shows you are not prepared. Preparation is the mother of manifestation. The law of preparation says that when you make the requisite preparation for something, that preparation naturally begins to attract those things to you. So if I am prepared as a lady for marriage, suddenly I will begin to see suitors coming around my life. It's not to wish it. It's one thing to wish and it's another thing to be prepared. So you must be prepared for it. If I prepare myself for a kind of success, naturally opportunities will begin to open up for me to have that success I prepared myself for. So if you fail to prepare, you have prepared to fail. The law of preparation is something you cannot cheat out of life. Prepare for anything. Anything you want to achieve in life, make the needed preparations for them. Even what we call favor is when opportunity meets preparation. So if an opportunity is created for you right now and say, I just got into a position and I feel like helping one person in your family, and you were chosen, and the requirement is that person must have a master's degree. Now you don't have a master's degree, but you can stay. Maybe if you are a Christian, you can be praying and praying, oh God, open my doors, open my doors, not knowing that the problem is not the door, but preparation will knock the door open naturally. So make preparation to take advantage of opportunities. Some of you right now, the governments have been giving grants all over the country. We have the survival fund. We have different grants here and there. All your business is still in a paper. You have no registered business. Now, one of the requirements for those grants is that you must tender your registered business certificate. But you don't have that. And you are just wishing that one day somebody will look at you and pity you and say, oh, take this money and do the business. You are losing out of opportunities. Listen, opportunity does not come but once. Opportunity comes all the time. It only becomes an opportunity to you when you recognize it as one. So prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. For instance, right now, you have no savings, nothing. And suddenly, one of the equipment you need for your business, somebody say, okay, it's worth 500,000. But because I'm traveling, I'm relocating, I want to sell it at a giveaway. If you have 50,000 naira, bring it. And you tell the person to the face, I don't have anything. That is the voice of a fool. When you use the word, I don't have anything, it simply put, I have made no preparations for life. You will always meet that. I had a TV that worth almost 290 something thousand. I bought that TV for 30,000 naira. Why? Someone was relocating. I just needed to sell things off. And I said, please, I don't have much on me. What I have is 30,000. I said, bring it. And as I got that, you will see those kind of opportunities in life. Opportunities of opening. Somebody will just come and say, okay, fine, I want to help you. Do you have this qualification, this qualification, this qualification? And you don't. Since you finish your degree, that's the only thing you stopped at. No qualification whatsoever. Even the business you say you are doing is not registered. You have no registration. You don't even have a business account. And the man wants to send you 10 million. Do you want your account to blow when you are still using a student account? How will he send 10 million there? EFCC will just come looking for you. Because you can't be a student and be expected to operate such kind of huge sum of money. So prepare for life. Prepare for anything you have as a desire. If I prepare and say, Lord, my desire is to travel abroad, I begin to make preparations for that. What are the preparations? I check. What are the things I need that will take me abroad? Number one, I need an international passport. Number two, I'll begin to write my IELTS, I write my GRE, and the rest of them. It's not a magic. This life for you. This is why many people are losing out of opportunities. They are just wishing things without anybody telling them they need to make preparation for that desire they want. If I want to get married, what are the things I need to start putting in place? I must make sure I have a job that gives me a stream of income. Outside a job, what do I need to have? I must have a house, because I will not bring a lady to live in empty space. I put one or two things in place. When I do that, then I can claim or say I am willing and ready for what? Marriage. But you don't have a house, you don't have a job, and you tell your friend, I say it by faith, by the Spirit of the Lord, next year I'm getting married. How? God is not a babalawo. He performs miracle, not magic. Know it. Christianity is not a place where people display magic. We perform miracles. And what is miracle? Miracles are product of spiritual laws. What you are expected to do, and God puts His favor on it. So anything you want to do, make preparations for them. I know I'm talking to some of you right now, especially those of you that want to travel out. You don't have your passport in place, nothing. In fact, you've not even asked friends, what are the requirements I need so that I start putting those things in place. I remember a young man that called me. He applied for a contest online, and just a few weeks ago, and that contest requires that you get involved in it and you can be selected. One of the prize for that contest is that you'll be taken abroad to Dubai. And luckily he just put, carelessly, let me just do this, and he was selected. And now they say, okay, bring your passport, let's process the visa. My young brother does not have a passport. And they say, okay, fine, that's the end of it. He called me, he said, you should pray about it. I said, it's not something you pray. We don't pray passport. We go and apply for passports. I am not a custom officer. It's in scripture. The Bible says we should subject ourselves to authority. Go to the custom office and apply for passport. At least this has taught you that for anything you wish in life, you should make the adequate preparations for that. Start finding out. Even that business you want to start up, find out about people. How is it about the business? What are the things I need? What do I need to know? What do I need to start putting in place? And not just sit down wishing and thinking it. It won't work and produce results. That's not how to be successful. Number 9 is the law of persistence. The law of persistence simply states that failure is part of success. We don't lose, we learn. We don't lose, we learn. So never you see failure as a loss, see it as a lesson. In life, you must understand that. It's not everything you put your hand inside that will give you the result you require at that point in time. Be willing to take the risk. This is the reason why many people have refused to take a decision or to start up that idea, start up that business because of fear of unknown. Or maybe they've tried something before and it worked. I knew a lady one time, she was having issue, she don't want to get into relationship, and I asked her why. And she said, all men are the same. I said, have you slept with all? Because the only way you can know all men are the same is because you have slept with all. That a fool broke your heart does not mean everybody is a fool. I'm sure you have a brother at home. Is he a fool? So you must be persistent in life. That something didn't work, try it again. Winners don't quit, and quitters don't win. Every man, the great Abraham Lincoln contested for the presidential election 13 times. Only once you tried and you have failed. I have invested into businesses, I lost so much. In millions. But I didn't give up. I see it as part of what? Success. That if I have not taken that step and lost, I wouldn't have learned a lesson. That is knowing what I did wrong, that I shouldn't do wrong the next time. There must always be a one day you start. So be willing to be persistent enough to pursue your dreams and vision. Be tenacious. Be so rugged about life that you cannot fail. When life hits you, give it hard. The blows of life are not a physical training for building physical muscles, but for building life stamina. Stamina for survival. So be willing to take the blows of life. If you endure the pain, you will enjoy the gain. Life is not cheap. Success is not cheap. Greatness is costly. Every man you see passed 2 seasons where they felt like giving up. They felt like there is no hope again. All hope is lost. But against all odds, that statement is what makes our testimony sweet. Against all odds, I still made it. Against all odds, what you face, the obstacle you overcome to become successful, to climb to the citadel of greatness, is what makes your testimony original. You can't say, I just stood up and I just decided and it just happened like that without a testimony to share. Then your story is not complete. Don't be ashamed of your failure. Look at it at the face and say, I will make it. I will get that business started. In this life, it will become a talk of town. I will get that thing done. I will persist again till it work out well for me. As long as one person can be successful in it, I too will be successful. When you talk like this, life will open up its doors of greatness and its doors of success for you to come in. This is the secret of great men. This is the secret of the rich. This is the secret of the wealthy. They were persistent through life. If you hear some of their story, read about them so that you inspire yourself, because one of the secrets of success is to surround yourself with motivators and inspirators. Motivations and inspirations. Because there will be a time in your life where you'll be down. And you need those words to spur you up. It's a system of success you must have around your life. Inspiration systems. So get that done. And you find out that when all chips are down, when your morale is low, there will be something to put it high again. Very, very important if you will be successful. Don't be ashamed of your story. Don't be ashamed of your scar. That's what makes you a star. Don't be ashamed of your tongues. That's what makes you triumph. Don't be ashamed of your pain. That's what will give you a pulpit. Don't be ashamed of your mess. From it you will get a message. Life is not cheap. Success is costly. Greatness is costly. It will fight you back. But when you fight it back, you will open that door and get into success. One day, your story will inspire a generation. Don't be ashamed of it. You failed the business 13 times, try again. Or find out, sit down, evaluate, what am I not getting right? And that's why I talked about the law of preparation. Maybe you just started by faith. No, faith don't start business. It is preparation that starts business. Faith is just one of the drive you need. You must know how that business works. You must understand the system. All right? You don't believe into failure. You believe because you know the requisites and the things required for the survival and success of that thing. Finally, the 10th principle of success I want to talk to us today is the law of health and wealth. The law of health and wealth simply states that health is wealth. The law of success states that if you abuse your health today, even after you made so much of money, you will pay dearly for it tomorrow. If you don't eat your food like medicine, you will one day in the future start eating medicine as your food. The law of success states that you should watch your health now, because the pain of the lapse of people's health in the future is based on the things they did years past. How they abused their health so much. Some put themselves into strenuous kinds of condition. And when they've made that success, they cannot enjoy it. Any success you cannot enjoy is useless. Every success should even outlive you and be transgenerational. Watch your health now. Take care of it so that the money you make, you don't end up spending it on your health in the future. I repeat again, if you don't eat your food as drugs, very soon you will start taking drugs as food. Do you want to do that? Do you want to live your life like that and cause so much pain for your children? No. If you don't, then you have to start watching your head. You know, it's only in Africa that everything that happens to a man slumps here and we say it's village people. Some might simply be hepatitis B, which does not announce itself. It's just an easy, we call it inflammatory of the liver. It doesn't show any symptoms before the man dies. And you know, in Africa, especially in Nigeria, an average Nigerian does not understand what they call checkup. When you tell him, please go for a medical checkup monthly and check yourself, he said, I reject it in Jesus' name. It's not for me. I reject it and rebuke. You don't rebuke it. It's just a normal thing for you to do. What is affecting you is your environment and your mindset, the way your mind is set. You check yourself to feel you are fine. That you are moving with your two legs does not mean every part of your body is still functioning well. You can see somebody you see just now, in 30 minutes time is gone. One part of the body has failed him. So that all your physical outlook is intact does not mean you are fine. It is not a crime and it doesn't unchristian you if you go for medical checkup just to be sure that everything is fine. In fact, if you feel it will unchristian you, why not check it and if there is a problem then pray about it. But it is better you preserve your health for success than to be successful and the health is no longer there. Then to what essence is that success? These are some of the laws I want to talk to us about today. When you put these 10 laws in place, there is no doubt that you will be successful. You will climb to the ladder of success because these are the laws obeyed by great men. I'll stop and draw the curtain close today. I'm happy you joined me for this broadcast. I would love to see you next time as we unravel other mysteries that will help us to make it in life. And as we always say here, God's grace shines on you. See you some other time. Love you.